love covers a multitude of sins, right? So that foolish woman is out there telling all the neighborhood what her husband just did.
Right.
Amen.
Well, Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, with pictures, right? That's a foolish woman putting the sins of their spouse out there. It should be covered.
Right.
And it's hard, and you have to have the Holy Spirit in you to be able to do that kind of stuff, because, your nature is going to be, I want everybody to know what I have to put up with.
Right.
It's about me, all right? It's not about them. It's about me and how offended I am and how hurt I am. And,
right.
Misery loves company, so we like to share our misery and things like that. No?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Comment?
Watch your feet, honey.
Yeah.
So no. If you didn't step on his hands.
Oh, yeah.
You have a helper. You have a helper.
The other cord. Okay, so one of the other things that we have here is, again, this whole chain of command kind of thing.
Add one thing about this.
Okay.
It doesn't always mean that you have to spank the kids. For example, our son, just before he turned 16, Larry's dad was dying of cancer, and we borrowed a van and took him home to Ohio. They came out to visit us. We were living in Oklahoma, and we told Morrill he was the man of the house, to watch the house. We expected him to take care of everything while we were gone. Of course, the young one, Michelle, we took with us, and we came back home, and the yard had tire marks through the grass, and I think in the hallway going towards the front bathroom the carpet was wet.
Wet.
We think, what the heck happened? Our next door neighbor come over and said they had to call the cops. He had a big party. And so we thought somebody got sick and was thrown. We didn't know what happened in the hallway with the carpet being all wet. Come to find out, the pipes, the Orangewood pipes, had collapsed and it backed up into the house. But we found all this out after. But the main thing was he was celebrating because he was going to be 16 and he wanted his license. He wanted his driver's license, and I think it was at the time we wrote the mileage down on the car.
Well,
and your 280Z that he was dying to get a hands on to try to drive it around. Was it my car? The Oldsmobile Cutlass? Anyway, Larry wrote the mileage down, and when we get ready to leave, we go to get the keys, and we can't find the keys. Larry said, I know good and well he took those keys. So he wrote the mileage down so we could tell if he went out joyriding or something while we were gone. And Larry said he had used the car. So what we did was we said, okay, seeing as you celebrated early, that's great. I'm glad. You will wait 1 year extra before you get your driver's license. He never asked, never complained, nothing. And he never did anything again, smart like that. But, it doesn't always have to be physical punishment. That really did him, and he doesn't mention that even today, that he had to wait, and he's 50 years old. He never, but we got the point across real quick. Larry was really upset. Larry's dad was dying. We had to stop on the way in Kansas City, I think.
St. Louis.
He was hemorrhaging, and we had to take him in there to get some shots to stop the bleeding, and Larry was really disappointed that he let us down. But so it doesn't always take physical stuff to take care of these kids. They'll get the message, but you have to be in agreement with whatever the punishment is going to be. And when Larry, I don't even remember who come up with that, if you did or I did, that he was going to wait another year to get the license.
Well,
but Wow.
We discussed it and agreed on it. I know that.
Yeah, I know, but I don't even remember who come up with it. But I mean, you got to get their attention, and this is one of the classes. I'm surprised you didn't snitch on me already with Michelle.
That's a different class.
That's a different class? Okay, well, I won't say it. But you have to get their attention to really let them know you mean business and they're doing wrong, and you need to bring them back into reality. You guys are the boss, they're the kids, and this is what you expect them to do. So I'll let him tell that story another time. I won't tell about that. But you just got to be in agreement when you do that. And Jamie, you had mentioned something last week about talking about the exes, and I didn't hear it all. But I just want to say to you guys that are dealing with exes, what we suggest, and we teach so many classes, I'm not sure if we taught it in this one yet this time, but when you're talking with the exes, you don't let them deal directly with their ex-spouse, like your husband with his ex-wife or something like that. What you do is tell them, I'll call you back. It's not a good time for me to talk right now. And when you get home or you get to a place, you can call that ex, say, I've got you on speaker. For example, I got you on speaker. Jamie and I are here. How can we help you? Because whatever she is asking is going to interfere with your family. If maybe she's asking you, oh, well, my son or our son wants to play basketball, you need to come up with $125. That's still going to affect your budget of your new family. Or I can't pick him up on Friday. I can pick him up on Saturday, so you need to keep him next night. That's still affecting your new family. You've made plans, and she needs to respect that. So they don't like it, but you just tell them, so it's not I need you to do this. She's not talking directly to you anymore. It's we. How can we help you? And it'll take them 3 or 4 times to realize they're dealing with 2 people, but you have to do that. And you tell them, I have you on speakerphone. We're here for you. How can we help you? Because obviously it's going to make an impact on your new family. And your new family is what you deal with first. You're not letting them go. You still want to help them, but the first priority is this relationship here. But they need to know, how can we help you?
We were engaged for 7 we've been married for a month now, and it's still taking his ex time to get to that. She thinks I have a lot more power than I do. But I think a lot of that, too, what popped in my head earlier was that if somebody's in a marriage where the woman is the leader, and it just, if she's, whatever the case is, controlling or, whatever it is, and just that's a dynamic that she just, belittles and is the controlling one and takes the lead in that situation, that then when the marriage, if marriage, and when the marriage ends, in the new relationship, it's kind of her to get that he's the leader, because she might not understand that men are supposed to control the work. So she thinks they have a lot more power than they do. When it comes to his kids, he takes the lead and I'm the second. When it comes to my son, I tend to take the lead and he's the second. We're still building those relationships.
Right. Well, that's when, he should, you just let them know you both are there. But whoever ex it is, say, we have decided, so you would be the one to say, we have decided to do this or handle the situation this way. And if they throw you something that you don't know how to handle it, don't do any discussion there. Just say, you know what, we need to pray about it and we'll call you back. Again, he or she needs to know you guys have the power. You have the final say what's good for you guys, and you'll get back to them, because they play those games all the time. But I agree, whoever ex it is, they should be the one to deliver what you guys are going to do, but they need to know that the both of you are in agreement on it, and that you both are there listening to the conversation, so they don't think that this is secretive. I've got this to say and that to say. And because we have some new people in here, I just want to remind you, this stays like Vegas in here. I don't want you guys to repeat what some of the people are talking about that are situations that they're having. We're all a family in here, so keep it in this room, okay? We just would appreciate that. That way, anybody that has an issue and wants to talk about it can feel safe to share. Okay, so we want to keep that personal. Yes, Jamie?
Question, when it comes to text messaging, a lot of times that's how we prefer to communicate with people. It just seems to be more amicable. Text messaging, do you think having it like in a group text, three of us, is a better way to go?
I don't know, because they can misinterpret how the words are being conveyed by texting, and it just makes them think that, well, I'm texting him and it's okay. I don't know. It's whatever you guys decide is comfortable for you, but we just know personally from different counseling that we've done, even trying on text, people will get the wrong impression a lot of times, and that's not what I meant, so we need to be on the phone so you physically know what's going on. But that's a preference. You guys pray about it and agree on how you want to handle it, but they need to know that it's coming from the both of you, so they can't think that they've got a secret conversation going on anything.
Yeah, I think as long as replies say we, you're okay.
Pictures is kind of my main.
Yeah, it's
A couple of
Well, it's whatever you guys agree on, but they need to know
it's all open between you guys, and the replies show that it's us. I think, other than that, I think, whatever you want to do is fine.
But the only thing is, too, in texting, they think they're texting just the one person. And that's why I say no texting, because they need to know it's the two of you. And the two of you are one, so they can't think that they're getting away with something. Well, I'll get him because I'll text him myself. No, it don't work that way. It can't work that way. Did you have something you wanted to add, Karen or Sarah?
I just want to talk about the team. I was a single parent for 7 years after my divorce, and I only had communication with the wife at the time. She wouldn't let him talk on the phone to me. For like 3 years, letters, emails, all of it. And I just thought, that's really, immature.
Sure, it's jealous. That's what it is. Yeah. Controlling, too.
They're older, and they just really wanted their dad to make those decisions.
Sure.
As a team, or not just the new step-parent.
Right. Somebody else? Rod?
I'm texting in person, so it's kind of easier to deal with. But once you write something down, I've seen cases where they'll hold on to those things and later it's back.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they could use them against you.
Started texting us so we could have it down.
Yeah.
I think that we're being made up.
Well, and that's like I said, that is the good part of that is now you have a record. Where if it's just he said, she said, it's hard to deal with that. But yeah.
And I don't think it would be good if you said this conversation is being recorded. That would really tick them off. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
My situation, my son is also blended family. I don't know if it's just their dynamics or how they are along the current process, but he lets his new wife do all the communication and setting up all the arrangements. She's kind of like the secretary, and that's how they work it out. Part of it was because my son had a lot of resentment toward his ex, so he would prefer his new wife did all the work.
Yeah.
But it worked for them because after a while, she's even allowed to come into the home. This last time that we had a graduation for their oldest daughter. The ex-wife was there. Of course, there was a little bit of friction, but she felt comfortable to go. But again, that's 10 years down the road. So.
Yeah, well, it's a process, and they're fairly newly married, like a few are in here, or some are dating, and those we know what works, but it doesn't mean everybody has to do it, because different people have different ways they work. We have several couples that the wife talks with the